Today, we are starting a new podcast named On Time with Dr. and Serge. Why? Because we think there is a need for a content especially focused on logistics and tech. We're going to deep dive on the benefits of technology. Most importantly, why we are not taking advantage of the technology available despite we are talking about it for so long.
On Time with Dr. and Serge, Logtech podcast.
In this first episode, what we will talk about is why it is so difficult to determine the cost benefit of the technology, right? So one of the biggest problems for us to sell for example, the business case to the C-suite is, what are the benefits? If you spend like $300,000, $400,000, like any logistics project or demand planning project, but you have to see the benefits of this, right? You can't just say, oh, it will improve your forecast accuracy and therefore it will improve your on-time delivery and reduce stock. But doing the maths of that is super difficult, right?
And most of the times, the guy who needs technology, it's not the one who signs all the invoices. Yeah. First, even if it works in some other company, doesn't mean that it will work in your environment. Yeah.
Correct.
It's everybody's concern. Like, okay, let's find that exact company, our size, same headcount, doing same thing in same region, whatever, like in 2024, and then show me that this technology worked in that exact environment. And that's hard to find. That's basically hard to find. Yeah, especially for new technology. New technology maybe have very few people using it, very few companies. And then there's the question of how to calculate ROI.
Yeah.
And I have an opinion that you just can't do it.
Okay.
First, and then the second thing is that company don't value that.
What do you mean by that? Company don't value?
I mean that there are few companies that are owned by fintech or financial conglomerates that ran on those calculations. Like they basically find anything that will bring more than a bank deposit. Everything better than a bank deposit, they will go for it. Yeah. But those people, they ran the whole company, all of the businesses based on those calculations. Most of the companies just don't have it. So you don't have budget, but you do have some problems. I should say that even if all the ROIs are right, even if all the calculations are correct, if the CIO will not see the light in eyes of that employee who's going to implement the technology, he will never sign up for that thing.
I mean, generally, but these decisions come from top down, right? So in my experience, any tech projects, rather than just focusing on cost, of course, cost saving is important, but in most cases, because I've done a lot of supply chain digitalization, tech consulting projects in the region, what I realize is very hard to determine the actual cost saving at the start of the project. I mean, if you can say you can get rid of, I don't know, 3 people, but it's a very, very up in the air guesstimate figure, right?
Right.
But however, what is important is to focus on 2 areas, right? First thing is, are we going to improve the efficiency of whatever current process you're trying to solve, right? Could be a logistics, procurement, any supply chain planning, so on and so forth. For example, if the people are just entering orders you receive through the email and portal, you put a web portal in, and then after that, ask customer to enter the order as a distributor and then integrate the portal with the ERP. That means you are getting rid of like 5 people who are just entering orders. So this is, if you focus on efficiency, then you realize how quicker and better people are doing, and then you can determine the cost saving, right? So defining the actual elements of where we can drive a process efficiency, that's first part. The second thing, which I then think is also difficult to measure, is almost envisioning the improvement in customer experience. Well, the invoices as a proof of delivery, great, right? So the proof of delivery, which used to be a very manual or non-existent process, now you digitalize that. So what happened with that is customers are paying you on time, because in Middle East, I don't know, customers don't pay on time because they see, oh, unless I see a proof of delivery, I'm not paying. It's ridiculous, but that's very true. Now you have digitalized that process. That means you are collecting your money much quicker, i.e. at least on time, on the payment terms you have agreed. That has a very, very positive impact on your cash flow. Furthermore, your sales guys are not chasing your customers to pay us the pending invoice, right? So my suggestion here would be is to, yes, focus on cost saving is a good question to ask. But what I don't see a lot of C-level people ask is, okay, show me how you're improving your either customer experience or what efficiencies we are driving. What do you think of that?
I think that's a great point. Yeah, you've made the right point, because not all the technologies will affect the customer.
Yeah.
And what really, yeah, not many people understand that decreasing something tenfold might not bring any benefit to the customer. Okay, for instance, like you've mentioned fulfillment or receiving. So you have this process that involves lots of steps. Some will be automated. For instance, you unload the truck, I don't know, 10 times faster.
Yeah.
But if you went from 1 minute to 10 seconds of unload, I'm not sure if it still takes the whole day to do all the unpacking and put away, and collect orders. Then probably it will not affect customer experience, and you shouldn't expect any payoffs out of that technology.
Now, as the world is becoming more faster, better, and there's a lot of repetition, especially the repetition on the systems, right? Because we're using more systems than we ever used to be. Now we are using more systems. That means we are better digitalized right now than we was in 10 years ago, for example. Now, what's happening with the system is there's a huge amount of repetition happening. With the new technology recently, with the AI, and we talked about RPA before our chat started, that there's an efficiency of mapping the frequency of anything. How many times you're entering orders, how many times you're sending a dispatch note to a 3PL, how many times you actually do whatever manually to do so. So once you do the two mapping, then you a multiplier of the task which takes the most time and the task which takes probably the highest frequency become the biggest opportunity for the digitalization, i.e. efficiency improvement, i.e. cost saving, right? So this is, I would think, that should be the method. Now, with that said, I know you do a lot of consultancy, and we should mention you're a CEO of Cleverance, but you deal with in your current business and customers, right?
Okay, what you're telling me, I think, is that you have to build this like digital representation, like a twin, of the company.
Yes, kind of digital twin. Yes,
like digitalize all that. Digitalization. Everybody's talking about the buzzword. Yeah, so you have to do like a copy of all your processes. Go digitalize the processes. Yeah. Okay. So and I like that map that you mentioned. Yeah. So with Google Map, with the map, it's much easier to navigate the world, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So you have a map that helps you to drive faster and not to forget all the turns. But what companies doing with like this map, digital map, is mostly you drive and you also trying to draw the map on your lap. That's how ERP is working now. Yeah. So you're doing business process, real thing, and then you have to go and type it in ERP. You type so it's like a double job. Yep. You go and do first the real one thing and then go the digital thing. Just for what? For, I don't know, digital invoicing or to having this clear view on things. What companies do not understand is that they have to automate that part, because navigating the town and trying to draw on the map is not a smart thing to do. You have to have if you have a digital map already, that map should help you to navigate. So if you have a sales order, purchase order in your back office system, it's much better to have a digital copy on a mobile device, go do receiving, shipping, collecting. You will do that much faster because you will be identifying items with a barcode. You will see how much is needed, all that. And once it's done, it's already in a digital form. So it comes back in ERP, reflected on the stock immediately. You don't have to go back and type it back from like sheets of paper into an ERP. Yeah, so just automating that part, it will eliminate those double work, and actually you will do a single work, real business process, much faster just by employing that thing. So you don't only have to tell the people what to do, but also reflect that in ERP and all the digital documents, write the reports. So I think in like recent years, all this other part, the second digital part, will be fully automated. Like this,
how?
like the follow-up of the Zoom call done by AI. Yeah, you had the call, you don't have to go and type. AI will do that. Automation will do that. Same thing in logistics. Lots of things have to be done automatically. So once you've done the real job, it should be automatically in ERP.
Yeah, but no, already in ERP, it's already in there, right? But I saw recently a software pack called WareB, who's almost like a digital twin of your warehouse. So what they do is they take all the routing data, all the slotting data, how many times you release, when you release the pick node, how long it took for you to pick up all the items in the pick node, and by the time you close the pick node and then you dispatch. So, but again, that information is sitting into the dispatch data or any WMS system, right? Because to identify the timing, you need to have, first of all, basic tech to scan in and scan out.
Yeah.
So you're collecting the time, and then based on that, you're correcting the pathway because you mapped out the slots into data thing. But I think what you're saying is, right, ERP would do it automatically. But the thing is, no ERP is capable of doing that as we stand today. No one. So you have to create a digital map or use a different software to create a digital twin of an existing logistics supply chain structure. Right? There is no easy solution for that.
That is true. I just mean that the companies cannot use that new technology. They cannot optimize their warehouse because they don't have that data to optimize, because they think, oh my God, scanning, I have to do all these double jobs. And I'm trying to explain that if you have at least parts of your business digitalized already, spreadsheets, I don't know, even ERP, the automation of that, going and scanning, really will really help you to do that even faster. So if you're not into technology, you're thinking, oh, I will be doing something, and then should have come back and write a report to ERP, what I've done, But if you automate all that with scanning, you do the job, and it automatically created a report. So you've done your job faster, you've digitalized what you've done right now, and also it's an open door now to all these new technologies that can do smart optimization. Okay, it's a third-party software. Maybe it is not in ERP. Yeah, right. No,
right.
But and all these processes, business processes, also not in ERP. You have a document flow, but ERP have no idea how you really do your job. Yeah, how the business is run. So you have to automate the business this way. You will do something. It will be automatically digitalized into the back office, and then you can feed all those other systems with that data.
Automatically digitize in the back office, you still need a tech for that, right?
Sure.
So that tech doesn't exist right now. So that's an opportunity for somebody to look at, right? So if we somehow, do the mapping, I mean, ideally it should be in the same ERP. I agree with you, right? Ideally. And the ERP will be telling you the opportunity for improvement. But right now, all the ERPs are nothing but dumb and stupid interrelational databases with some workflows, right? There is no intelligence has been built in, right? So what people are trying to do is they're trying to build in intelligence outside the ERP to get the value, which I think is even more dumber, rather than you use the ERP which has all the intelligence built in. Now with the AI, and AI can code, and we talked about it earlier, and we will always talk about this more, you can make a very intelligent ERP state.
All this tech is mostly bought from kind of consultancy projects, and projects means lots of people, and all those hours spent on just explaining stuff, adjusting it, customizing, all that. So this is mostly why it's so expensive, not because the technology itself. Technology itself is nothing. What is not cheap is this sale part, when you have to find leads, discuss with them, explain, maybe they postpone it next year, whatever. So all that friction actually takes up most of the money in tech projects.
Anyway, so I think we can talk forever on this one, but I think we got some really good information. So to summarize, I think my final thoughts would be is to, if you want to do any digitalization project, right, supply chain logistics procurement, that's fine. The tech is there. There's a lot of opportunities are there. But the starting point would be not just by how much money is going to save. The starting point would be how it will help our customers to have a better experience of our product and services we're offering. Option one. Option two would be where exactly it will reduce time or efficiency or resources or reputation, right? If you just focus on these two, on a really map the tech out with the opportunities it will drive, at the end result would be cost saving, better experience and cost saving.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I think.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that. And don't forget that implementing technology is a unique experience that you have to live through. So it's not, you cannot buy it from grocery store, especially these disruptive things. You have to, actually, I see that the money you spend will be minimal compared to what your time will be spent, the time that you will spend on learning and trying to implement that new technology. So you should remember that it is your duty to make this technology work, not the company that is selling it to you.
Yes. It's your duty. But and this is where the biggest problem is, right? Because where most companies think that I've hired a consulting group or the technology provider, are paid to do it, that's the blueprint. And then the provider thing is your company, you should take ownership of this. I think both parties are partially wrong here, right? And they have to both, I think the implementation provider, the tech provider needs to take ownership of doing it their best to provide the best consulting services rather than just focusing on, I need to make more hours because you have told me this is the blueprint and it's changed now 18 months. Of course, the business is changed and the blueprint is changed. You know, you can't leave it for any third-party provider, Big Four, whoever. You does that and your cost will go through the roof, and the more cost goes through the roof, then you're longer for the ROI.
On Time with Dr. and Serge. Logtech Podcast.